Vancouver's got 2 seasons. We got summer and we got rain. Ugh, that's okay. When it rains, we make soup. Hey humans! Today, we're gonna make soup. It's raining out again. What's new? We're from Vancouver. We're hitting the rain season and it's gonna be raining copious amounts for days on end. Now here's the thing, this morning I woke up and I didn't care it was raining. Why? Because before I even had a chance to have my coffee, someone knocked at the door. My neighbor gifted us with abundance of fresh organic vegetables that she can't use. She does this delivery system, she gets them every week, and she just didn't have time to cook with them. She's still riding on last Sunday's vegetables, and she said, do you want them? And I said, hell yeah. So I'm thinking, let's make some borscht soup. But of course, my version. There's lots of recipes online. I'm just gonna pick one, grab it, and I'm gonna work with it. So here we go. So the inspiration, of course, was cabbage. I don't usually eat cabbage. I don't cook with cabbage, but hey, borscht soup. So that's where borscht comes from. We've got all kinds of neat beets. We got white beets. We got purple beets. I think these are radishes, but I might throw 1 or 2 in because there's so many and they look delicious. And I'm gonna throw in these awesome carrots, because look at them. Carrots in a soup are gonna be great. Everybody that knows me knows we love jalapenos. So of course, I'm gonna throw in some jalapenos, because why not? 2 large onions, 1 whole clove of garlic, about 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger, some parsley. We're gonna add some potatoes. Secret ingredient, coconut milk. We usually make our own broth, but seeing how there's abundance of vegetables just happened to be delivered to our door today, we didn't have time to make broth, so we're just gonna use store-bought broth today. That's okay, it's still delicious. And of course, we got our friend, the cabbage. I'm gonna make sure that I double up this recipe. I want it to be a big pot of soup because I really have to thank my neighbors for giving us all these free vegetables, and I'll gift them with some homemade soup. So you might be thinking to yourself, this is a really unconventional borscht soup. And hey, it is, but Google's got everything out there. And I actually found this recipe. It's called borscht with coconut milk and ginger. The only strange thing I'm adding to it, so says my boyfriend, is jalapenos. But I figure jalapenos have such a nice spice to them. Like, why not add the jalapenos? Soup is a medley of everything and anything you want it to be. And I'm gonna put jalapenos in my soup. Let's start shopping. This video is brought to you by me. If you're like me, you search for comfort like a hot bowl of delicious soup or a cozy cup of tea, especially on a cold and rainy day. This illustration is called Head in the Clouds, and it's available for purchase on mugs and other merchandise in the link below. We hope you feel inspired to like and subscribe. Stay cozy. Start heating up this broth to get it going, because we're gonna start heating up the broth.
Stop that.
Never assume your vegetables at the grocery stores are clean. You don't know whose hands have been touching them, where it's fallen on the ground. Always wash them vegetables. Yeah, organic dirt is still the dirt, so wash your vegetables, people. You want it clean as a whistle. Oh, look at that. It's a heart. It's a heart. Who loves soup? We love soup! Put this aside because we got to do the meat. All right, now that the broth is going, we're gonna get this meat going before we start chopping up the vegetables. We got our beef eye round Canadian AA oven roast. Right, let's cut off a nice chunk of this. So we're gonna use about 1 pound of this meat, and the other half we're gonna put in the crock pot for tomorrow. But that's another story. So we're gonna put this away and we're gonna chop this up.
One of us is squeamish about cutting meat, so stunt hands coming in for the fill shot.
Stunt hands, thank you, Trevor. I hate cutting meat. It's my least favorite thing ever. We're gonna cut into really tiny chunks.
How tiny do you want these?
Really tiny, like a quarter of a teaspoon each.
Is that about the right size?
Yeah, like half a teaspoon. I want little bite sizes. 1, it's gonna cook faster. And 2, that way there's enough meat for you and I and our neighbors too. And then leftovers, of course, Trevor.
Always fingers behind the blade. Behind the blade, behind the blade. Tiny bite sizes, bite sizes.
Now 14 cups of water is going in the pot, and we are gonna get that meat cooking while we're chopping up them veggies. So let's turn on the heat again, and we need 1 tablespoon of salt. Whoa, is that back in the box? That works, sure. Let's bring that to a boil. Now we shall add the meat to the cold salted water. Oops, man down, get back in there. Ooh. We now bring this to a boil and we remove the foam crud as soon as it boils. So there's gonna be something happening in a minute, something called foam crud, and we're gonna soon find out what that is.
Jabo.
Says so even in here it says, sorry I forgot to take a picture of the crud, maybe we're better off. Sounds like it's gonna be man. Then we're gonna peel the carrots. I want nice bite-sized pieces. I like my vegetables cut really small so that my spoon has a little tiny bit of everything rather than just one giant chunk of carrot and one giant chunk of onion. So again, we're gonna cut carrots nice and small. Potato. I'm sure you could probably leave the skin on. Should we leave the skin on? You know what? These potatoes are good. I'm gonna leave the skin on them. Save me some work. Some extra flavor in there too, I'm sure, so forget it. We're gonna keep the skin on those potatoes because these ones are really delicious. If they were the other kind of potato, starchy potato, I wouldn't leave it on, but these ones, nah, skin staying on. We're gonna end up cutting about 3 very large potatoes. I might in the end, actually, once all the vegetables are cut up, I actually might add 2 more. So there might be 5 potatoes in this, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so let's get this cabbage chopped up. Really cut cabbage, but we'll just do it like this, strips. Borscht usually has strips in it, right? Look at the color of that carrot. That is so fascinating. Look at that. Wow. Cool. Oh, look Look at the inside of the carrot is orange. What the hell? What's going on here? Oh, let's see what it looks like inside. This is like a Halloween carrot. Whoa, trippy. Is that like, almost like a food dye, but it's not, is it? That's really neat. Now we have our white radish. Now we got ourselves a jalapeno. It's gonna just blow this soup out of the water. I'm gonna keep the seeds in it. We're gonna keep the seeds in it, because that's where they keep the heat. Remember, don't touch your eyes. So we're taking a break from chopping up our vegetables because look at this. This is what they're talking about. This is what crud is. So this is the stuff. Wow, what the heck, man. That's what we're gonna have to skim off. Interesting. Whoa, look at that. Huh. Bye-bye crud. Worst part of cooking with onions. It tastes delicious, but
oh, I can smell them from over here.
holy shit.
Those are some strong onions.
Ooh-wee. Medium high heat, a little bit of oil. That might have been a lot. Whatever. We got a lot of onions. Get this bit of the skin off the ginger. Destem these parsley. Mother Nature is such an artist. Chop them up, put them in your belly. So it's been about 45 minutes to an hour. This meat is pretty much done. We don't want to overcook it. We don't want to turn it into jerky. Turn that off for now. Cover it up. Put this aside for a second. So it turns out I made a mistake. I'm supposed to shred the beets, not chop them in chops. But that's okay. We got a food processor. It's oh, perfect, beautiful. That would have saved us a lot of time. Beautiful. So now we're gonna marry our broth and have the meat in it. The other broth that's been warming up to this. All right, these are looking perfect. They're golden, transparent. We're gonna add some garlic now. We're gonna add the jalapenos. We're gonna add the ginger. That smells nice. Tastes better when you just do a little flash fry. Turbo, does it smell good, buddy? Does it smell good, buddy? All right, now we're gonna add our medley of carrots. Those colors. And this is just to mix everything up for a second. Let's turn down the heat now, it's a little too hot. Add our radishes. And these are beets or radishes. We will never know. Now that we've married the two broths together, we're gonna add the potatoes. And we're gonna let that boil and cook, simmer and cook for 10 minutes. We're gonna add our delicious beets, shredded beets. Around. Add a little bit of vinegar. I don't know, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tablespoons. And we're gonna saute this for about 5 minutes. Look at the timer going for that. Right, now we're gonna add it to the broth. And we're gonna let that cook for another 10 minutes. See you in 10 minutes. We're gonna add all of our other vegetables. This is turning out to be quite the unexpected hearty vegetable soup. I don't even think we could call it borscht anymore. I think this is just gonna be vegetable soup. And now we have those vegetables in there. We're gonna add our cabbage. Stir that up. Oh, look at this. I forgot to, whoopsies. I better chop that up. Mix that up. Insanity soup. This should be called insanity soup. We're gonna add a tablespoon of sugar. I don't know what it does, but the rest, one of the two of the recipes said sugar, so let's put sugar in it. So we're also gonna add a half a teaspoon, approximately, of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, some fresh parsley, about 2 tablespoons, and a couple of bay leaves. And we're gonna add that right now. All right, so we got our 2 bay leaves, bloop, bloop, and salt, pepper, and fresh parsley. Put that in. And the last ingredient, I think, will be the last ingredient. Who knows? We have to do a taste test still. We'll do 1 can of coconut milk, whatever you got. Doesn't have to be fancy. All right, now we're gonna take the bay leaves out and in there for another 10 minutes. two. Where'd the other one go? Where is it? It's like finding Where's Waldo in the soup. Shoot, where did it go? Alright, get both the bay leaves out. And then a couple little pulses on top. Not going to the bottom because I don't want to ground up the meat, so just a few pulses. So now it's chunky, but still really brothy. Got the chunks of meat in there. Looking good. Looking good. All right. Dash of pepper. There we have it. My version of borscht soup. All right, taste test. Bountiful. Nothing like a free bowl of soup. Thanks, neighbors. Nice. It's a really interesting soup. So I think that technically this shouldn't be called borscht soup because not only does it not look like borscht soup, but doesn't taste like borscht soup, but it is really good. It's like a garden medley soup. Whatever the case. Free vegetables, free soup. It's awesome. Bon appetit.